Prime Minister, how many people do you think will go to jail as a result of your crackdown on shoplifting?
Well, our track record in clamping down on crime is actually very positive. Crime has halved since 2010, it's down since the start of this Parliament, and last year we outlined new plans to tackle antisocial behaviour and fraud, which are already working. But I have been concerned by the rise in retail crime, as I'm sure many others are, either seeing it or on social media, which is why today we've announced a strong set of measures to clamp down on retail crime. That's about a new offence, a brand new offence for assaulting shop workers, using facial recognition technology to catch perpetrators with CCTV, but also greater use of electronic tagging of prolific shoplifters. It's been warmly welcomed by retailers and police that I've spoken to today, and crucially will demonstrate to our shop workers that we've got their back, and also that we will do what it takes to keep our streets and our communities safe. That's what everybody wants. That's what we'll deliver.
But the prisons are full.
We're in the midst of building the biggest prison expansion program in many decades, in fact, actually. Thousands and thousands of new places. We're also increasing sentencing for the most violent criminals, ending the automatic halfway release point, because those are the right things to do, because the most violent offenders should be sent to jail for longer. That's what we're delivering. By the way, all opposed by the Labour Party when we pass those laws.
Now, on the Cass report out today, why have doctors got it so wrong when treating children with transgender issues?
Well, I welcome the publication of the Cass report today, something that we commissioned, and it aligns with our approach on this issue. And that's that, of course, we must treat children who are questioning their gender with compassion and sensitivity, but we have to recognise that we need to move with extreme caution in these areas because we just simply don't know the long-term impacts of what this all means, and children's well-being is uppermost in our mind. And that's why we've acted on the interim findings previously, whether that's the NHS banning the routine use of puberty blockers, or indeed the guidance that we gave to schools about how to treat these issues in those environments, which again were warmly welcomed. I've been very consistent on this topic throughout my career, and I want to make sure that we consider this report carefully, but we've already acted on the interim findings, and as I said, it's very much in alignment with our way of thinking, which is to exercise extreme caution on these issues because we simply do not know the long-term consequences and impacts.
A political question about William Ragg. Is it right he has quit the Tory party in the Commons?
Yeah, well, William Ragg has apologised and taken action to resign, and it's a reminder to everybody in public life about being sceptical and suspicious about unsolicited emails and messages that come into you. There are lots of people out there who want to subvert our democracy, and we have to be on guard for that.
Do you regret backing him?
As I said, he's rightly apologised for what he's done. It's subject to a live police investigation. It's a limit to what I can say, and a good reminder to everybody in public life about being sceptical, as I said, of incoming unsolicited messages.
We're in the spring now. Will you give us a date when the first flights will take off for Rwanda? And are you worried that homes in Rwanda have been given to locals now?
No, I just saw the president of Rwanda in Downing Street this week. They are absolutely committed to delivering on our partnership, and I'm confident that they've got all the preparations in place to do so. Now, I'm committed to stopping the boats. We need to have a deterrent so that if people come here illegally, they can't stay, they'll be removed. That's why Rwanda is so important. That's why I'm determined to see it through. First of all, we need to get it through Parliament, where the Labour Party has been blocking it for a long time. Once it's up and running, I'm confident we'll be able to operationalise the scheme, get people on flights, because that's how we'll set up a deterrent and ultimately end the unfairness of people jumping the queue, coming here illegally, putting pressure on local services and risking their own lives. None of that's right, none of it's fair, and none of it's compassionate either to do nothing, and our plan is the right one.
And no date?
As I said, we need to get the bill through Parliament first, which I'm keen to do as quickly as possible. As I said, the Labour Party have been blocking and frustrating us for a while, but I'm confident that once the bill is passed, we will be able to get the scheme up and running.
Just finally on Israel, Gaza, do you agree with President Biden's criticism overnight of Israel?
You know, my position has been very clear on the situation in Gaza, and that's that we want to see an immediate humanitarian pause so that we can get the hostages out and get more aid in and use that as a foundation for a sustainable ceasefire. That's been our consistent position. I'm very concerned about the humanitarian situation in Gaza. I spoke to Prime Minister Netanyahu about this just the other week. We have seen some improvement since that phone call, but what we now need to see is more aid flooding into Gaza to alleviate the suffering that people are experiencing. I'm proud that the UK has played a leading role in doing that, tripled our aid commitment. We're getting aid in by land, sea and air. Field hospital arrived from Manchester. Aid is being dropped by air, and we're working with other countries to open up a maritime corridor. So we'll keep doing everything we can on the ground and diplomatically to bring about an end to this conflict.
Prime Minister, thank you.
Thank you very much.